And the last number is the one that is also pertinent to this case, and is the 2782-704-4358. A section 205 was obtained in respect of that number, correct?
That's correct.
Now, let's deal a bit with this number, 2782-704-5358, the bottom one. On the 26th of October, 2014, at any stage, according to your analysis, were there any activities on this number?
If I look here on the data used,
Yes.
from 1400 hours, 2:07, on the 26th, no activities on the phone.
And until when were there no activities on that number?
Let's say until the end, because during the night of 27,
Yes.
the police is in position of the phone.
I'll come to that in a moment. Just for the sake of completeness, on the 25th of October, the day before the incident, are there any activities on this phone, the 4358?
There were some activities. He did receive SMS.
Were there only SMSs? There were no call activities received, outgoing?
Let me just go to the cell phone log still. There's only SMS and he didn't answer any calls.
Now, per the information available to you, if you recall, when were the phone, the 4358, I'm sorry, seized by the police on the 26th or 27th of October? Do you know what time?
No, I'm not sure about that. As far as my knowledge, Sergeant Maswidi and Colonel Nkandla seized it during that night.
The reason I'm asking you this is the following. Indeed so, Zandile Khumalo testifies in this court, and she stated that upon their return from Butsilong Hospital, once it was certified that the person that was shot has died, upon return to the home, 13511 Kultano Street, Mzamo section, that is the crime scene, before they could enter the house, their personal cell phones were seized from them and packaged by the police. So I agree that this phone was seized. What is the issue is your inference in your testimony that there was a device boot up, which implies that for nefarious reasons or for legitimate reasons, the user or the owner of that phone attempted to delete the whole or part of the data on the phone.
That's correct.
And you put the time of the device boot up at around 1 a.m., if I'm not mistaken. And by then, according to the testimony of Zandile, because they returned from the hospital between 11 and 12 a.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m., 00 a.m., the phone was already in the possession of the police. So the user or the owner could not have been the person that performed that device boot up action or activity on the phone.
My Lord, I can't testify on when did they seize the phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
quite.
Yes,
That's a good question. The relevant just refers to the relevant portion in the report where Ms. Zandile Khumalo testified about this aspect.
No, she
that
never
we can
did.
check.
she never testified about which aspect, my lord?
Yeah.
About which aspect?
Concerning the rebooting of the phone after it was.
I'm saying about the seizing of the phone.
Yeah. But
The
the
phones were
critical thing
seized
is the rebooting,
upon-
not so much the seizing.
I said his testimony is that
Whose testimony?
Lieutenant Colonel
Yeah.
Spain is that the boot up. Let's not confuse this glossary of terms. Rebooting is something else. Boot up. He says the boot up happens at around 1. Him, not Zandile talking about that. So, and I'll give you that, in fact, to be fair to you. Unless you've got the actual log of when these phones were collected, you wouldn't tell when they were seized from these people. But the point is that this phone was seized by the police on that night.
That's correct.
In fact, let's go to this boot up device, boot up, because and I must be frank with you. I was quite perplexed when you said boot up means somebody is trying to delete memory data, wipe out his or their phone.
That's correct.
With my little understanding, and you are the expert, but what I researched about this, hence I said to the court, let's not use reboot, boot, because they mean different things. My research on this aspect, it says boot up of a device means my phone was switched off. I'm simply switching it on. If I want to delete something and wipe out my memory, you testified correctly to Mr. Mgomezu. You use factory settings to wipe out of your entire memory. That's what we said to Mr. Mgomezu. If I want to delete or wipe out my memory, I'll go to factory settings, then I'll instruct my phone to do whatever it does, and it does. My research shows me exactly that. But the boot up of a device means I'm switching on a phone that was sleeping, that was off. It's got nothing to do with the deletion of information on that device.
Sorry.
My lord, I can't agree. Then there must be a list like this when she switches on and off the phone.
Now let's go to the so-called runaway phone, which will be this number, the 2772932498. That was allegedly stolen from 13511 Kutlano Street by the perpetrators that entered that house. In your previous testimony, sorry.
Can you repeat the number?
So let's go to, according to your analysis, or we can go to the section 205 itself.
I don't have the 205 in front of me now.
Yeah, it can be available to you, but let's go according to what you did and the access of the 205 that you had. You stated in your testimony previously, last year, August, that this runaway or so-called runaway phone, its last activity was 21:52:57 or thereabouts, and the tower that it registered on was Moleleki Tower. You remember that?
That's correct.
And you testified that Moleleki Tower is in the vicinity of a hostel. At the time, you did not specify which hostel, but we were talking within the context of Basotho Hostel. So I'm giving you this chance to clarify that, because I put as a proposition to Ms. Vaitilingem, and my learned colleague, Ms. Advocate Sibanda, objected to say, you did not say so. So I want to put it so that you clarify that. We are on the same page.
But refer to the witness. Give the witness a map. Because all of us were in the dark until a map surfaced, or maps surfaced.
Yes, I'll refer the witness. There's exhibit JJ 10-5 that depicts Basotho Hostel and the distance between Basotho Hostel and Moleleki SGS. That's exhibit J 10, my lord, in brackets 5. And also, my lord, there's we can deal with this one. There's another one also that I want to refer the witness to. Or there's exhibit J 7 in brackets capital A. Those two documents, my lord, those two exhibits. which will show a variety of data that Ms. Vitilingen testified about. That is for tower locations and distances, and the pertinent distance is Basotho Hostel to Moleleki SGS Tower, which will be on page 2 of that document. Do you see that?
Yes.
And according to this exhibit, the distance between Basotho Hostel and Moleleki SGS Tower is about 4.7 kilometers to in between the two places. You see that?
That's correct.
Remember on your penultimate day when you were led by my learned colleague, Advocate Baloyi, and that was also part of the bench question, where you were asked whether you have distances between clinics and clinics hospital, Butsilon clinics, and the crime scene, whether you've got distances between the crime scene and Basotho Hostel, and you came up with certain kilometers. And in fact, you stated that you had even searched Google Earth and you traveled and saw that clinics tower is in the vicinity of Fosloras Clinics Hospital. You remember?
That's correct.
Now, with respect to this Moleleki Tower, it is important for the following reason. The state's theory is that the phone that was stolen belonging to Ms. Kelly Kumalo, the Samsung S4, its movement leads to, and the signal dies, according to the affidavit of Brigadier Beninda, when it reaches the hostel. And according to the evidence of Pinky Vitilingen, where's the document? Are about 3 towers in the vicinity of Basotho Hostel, and Moleleki Tower wouldn't be one of the towers that service Basotho Hostel, because the towers that are there, it's 2G Foslora Square next in the vicinity of Basotho Hostel. It will be 2G Clinics Fosloras MN1 SGS. It will be the Fosloras Hostel, and it will be Bupang Khotso Hostel. So Moleleki Tower is, she even pointed, it's down here in the south, further away from Basotho Hostel.
My Lord, it's possible that he could, that the cell phone tower in question being used that time. The phone was moving. So it's possible that he didn't use, he used the strongest signal from the tower. So it's possible that they will pick up another tower. So it's not to say he will always use the closest one.
You see, that answer of possibilities does not pass muster. And I'll tell you why. Everything under this sun is possible. Now, with that answer that you've just proffered, we'll have then to determine the range of coverage of Moleleki. You agree?
It's not necessary, because please bear in mind, this is all SMS. It's not a call.
Sorry?
It's SMS. It's not a call.
Which activity are you referring to, an SMS that logged Moleleki Tower?
At 21:53:44. It's
Yes.
an SMS.
And what's the difference between an SMS and a voice call received or outgoing registering on a tower to make an activity.
On the SMS, it can go to the strongest or it can go to a tower with a dish, not a normal dish, which is all, obviously to take the load off the normal tower. So all the SMSs can go to a tower with two different functions.
My learned friends busy with cross-examination. The witness was called specifically to
No, it's
testify.
okay. Let him go on. No problem.
As a court pleases.
No problem.
In fact, my lord, that's one of the clarification questions that I requested when the witness was called, whether are we limited to the two aspects or to clarify issues.
No, fine, yeah,
Yes.
no problem. I don't know. But just recall what Mr. Tillingham said.
Yes.
He said that sometimes, if this is the nearest tower,
Yes.
if we're traveling with this way, and this is the farthest tower,
Yes.
if this tower is overworked, that's correct.
That's correct.
If it's overworked, it will not impinge on this. It will impinge on the next tower, which is further away, but it's not overworked. That's how Pinky Tillingham testified. Is there
100%.
truth in that statement?
That's true.
100%, my lord. But remember also the limitation in urban,
Yes.
rural, and the like. And she testified that in urban areas it can be 250
That's
to
it.
initially 25, then she went to 5 kilometers. That's why my proposition is that if he says this is a possibility, then somebody else must come and tell us. Not today, not in 2020, but
When?
back in 2014, how these towers were.
Please.
2014. Yes,
Who
my
will
lord.
tell us in 2014?
Sorry?
Who is that who will tell us in 2014?
My lord, that's how they determine the range of towers.
No, but
in-
I'm asking you, who?
Yes.
So that we must call that person.
We had spoken to my learned colleague before to say that an engineer can tell us, because some of the towers were not even in existence in 2014. Towers are commissioned and decommissioned, my lord.
Yes, any other further clarification questions?
I'm looking at my notes, my lord. I'm just about done. No, it's fine. I'm finishing. We'll eat. My lord, practically those are my questions that I wanted to clarify. I just want to make sure that I don't leave out so that once I'm done, Lieutenant Colonel doesn't have to come back from George. Those are all the clarification questions, my lord. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.